What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a win in Serie A. It's uh, it's been a couple of weeks, if I can remember, or like it feels longer than a couple of weeks. So I'm not really sure how long it's been since we won our last game, and not yesterday in Serie A, but we did it. We managed to beat last place team Monza. It wasn't easy, but who's shocked that it wasn't easy, you know? But we're gonna talk about that and whatever transpired post game, pre game as well. But first off, how are you? How are you doing today, Norbert?
Hey man, uh, I'm doing okay. That game was a step back, but let's talk about it anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it, a win is a win, right? For this team right now, it feels
Yeah,
like a win. It's just like that's how I felt yesterday post game. Like the moment the final whistle was blown, I was like, yeah, for this side right now, a win is just a win, and that's kind of what everybody echoed post game. Nico, Locatelli, saying that we really needed this. You know, Gatti as well, saying that right now in Serie A, that's a win we needed. But it wasn't as smooth sailing as it should be. It was more difficult than it should be against a team that they may have less quality than Venezia. I'm not sure, you know. I don't think so, you know. But they showed less quality than Venezia, maybe. But they have a better team than Venezia. But man, um, it's not to be negative, but I've not come across people who have been very positive after yesterday results. Like you can still not be doom and gloom. That it's fine, you know. But we can also not act like it was very positive what we saw yesterday evening, right?
yeah. The beginning of the game was really good. We scored that goal, and even after for a few minutes, we looked good. But after that, we dropped off, and then we got a goal. And after that, I don't know. We won somehow. We still had more shots on goal and whatnot, but it was sad, to be honest. And I still don't understand why Yildiz started on on the wing when last time he was so good at the 10. And I'm not saying that Nico wasn't good, because Nico Gonzalez was for me as well the man of the match. But I feel like if they would have started differently, then might have been a better game. But nevertheless, it's a win. And right now last time we won, it was against Torino, I think, like 1.5 months ago. So
So it was longer than I than I
in the
said.
league, yeah, I think it was 14th or something of November. I might be wrong, but somewhere around there. So yeah, over a month for sure.
That's crazy.
A win is a win. Yeah,
That's great. But I mean, uh, let's start off with the beginning of the game, because I agree. I thought we were playing well. Besides giving the ball away
yeah,
very cheaply at times, I thought, you know, the pass, it was a bit faster. Like it was quicker. You know, it wasn't too many touches. Like it was in and around the box, but I felt like we had more bodies in and around the box. Obviously, it was the case because of the formation. You know, the change we made. And it was okay. I was like, okay, just, you know, keep doing this, and that goal is just coming. Like it's just a matter of time because we committed more, and you're playing a very poor side. You know, we scored off the corner, which lately is becoming a weapon more so than in the first of the start of the season up to last couple of weeks. That was just non-existent. You know, set pieces. It's
yeah,
becoming a weapon. That's cool. Fine, but like that cannot be the main weapon unless you want to be Arsenal of the last couple of months, basically. Um, and it was good. You know, you get that 1-0 up, and I was like, okay, let's do what we did against Cagliari. Do not sit back and push and push. And I'm not sure if we were gonna do that if not for that conceded goal. I don't know. Like the conceded goal came relatively quickly, in my opinion. So I'm not sure what we would have seen if we didn't concede that goal. But that's kind of who we are right now. Like we look vulnerable in the most
yeah,
weird moments of the game. Like it's not like we don't look vulnerable in terms of like teams are pressuring us, and you're like, oh, it's just bound to happen because teams are pressuring us.
yeah,
It just comes kind of out of nowhere, but you have a slight feeling that like there's something in the air. Like the goal we conceded was just poor. Like from Kalulu, that's poor.
Yeah,
And I said it a couple of weeks ago, a couple of days ago. I said like the mentality of this team when they're up one goal, it's strange. Like it feels like they go 1-0 up and they're like, that's it, we've done it. Let's call it a day. That's how it feels because the way Kalulu switched off, it literally felt like he just called it a day. That's some horrible defending.
yeah,
That's just going. I'm in the box and that's it. I'm in my kind of position, but he's not looking over his shoulder. And credit to Birindelli, it was a clean finish, but that's switching off that we've seen way too many times lately, and that's putting
yeah,
us in a lot of trouble. Even if we're not playing well, you're just giving poor teams easy opportunities to get back into the game, and they're taking it. The title of the show is "There's no fear." Teams are not fearing us; they're just going for it.
yeah.
And Monza was going for it. Like they were going for it, and that's just weird and unacceptable, kinda.
Yeah, and the team scoring the similar goals against us. The midfielder is arriving a box a little later, and then no one is marking them, and then they score. We got several goals in the past few weeks like this, and it's really annoying. And it's absolutely avoidable if we just concentrate a little bit and just look what's around, and then you just mark the players. But yeah, it's really annoying because no one is pressuring us really. We got these goals, out of the blue most of the time, so it's annoying.
I mean, the formation change, the setup wise, like you know what it is. We can like we leave a lot of space. Last two games, like we leave a lot of space between the lines. It's
Yeah,
miscommunication. I don't know what it is. It's a lot of space, but I'm at a point where I'm like, you take that right now because like you need to start somewhere because if you
yeah,
can go like we've seen. Remember that game where Allegri saw something and was like, nope, done with it, and he switched it up. Like he went,
yeah,
I don't know which game it was, and he went defensively really quickly, and that's the season we have. I have a feeling it's the same thing with Motta. He sees that and he's like, nope, we're not gonna do that. But you're gonna need to take some sort of risk, excuse me, because when we don't do that, we're not winning games anyway. We're not doing that right now. So
yeah,
there was a problem with spacing between the lines, and I think that's more about communication, getting to know each other even more in this position, in this setup. Because if you commit four players up front, everybody, like if one doesn't do his job, a lot of players are going to be in trouble, and that's going to need time. But you cannot, like if he steps away from it, then I'll be very disappointed. It
yeah.
needs to improve
But
rather than step away from it.
yeah, and to be fair, it was still better than the game before Venezia. We still had more chances, and it
It
was still
was
better.
better. It was better.
Yeah, yeah. It was a
Oh yeah.
step back from the game with Venezia, but sorry, against Cagliari. From the game against Cagliari, this one was a step back, but still was a little bit better. And I hope he will not go back to the turtle formation with the Cope Miners as a 10. Or it's not even a 10. I wouldn't call it a 10. I don't know what was that, the hybrid 10, whatever. But yeah, he needs to start like similar way, either Yildiz or Nico Gonzalez, and then Cope Miners and Locatelli. I would say would be the best right now.
I mean, I will read out the chat in a second because I want to bring up a couple of stuff on yesterday as well because um, on positioning, with Yildiz, I don't know, like he said post game, pre game, he said Nico can play the 10, he can play on the wing. I think Nico Gonzalez said it post Cagliari, said I can play on the wing as well, but if I need to play the 10, I will play the 10. I think Yildiz will fit the 10 better right now in our
Yeah,
setup, and I think it will, and I will specifically call it like this: it will benefit the striker as well. Because when I say Vlahovic, people are like, "You're protecting Vlahovic." No, I say Vlahovic because he's the only number 9 we have. Period. I need to say Vlahovic because there's nobody else. We play Vlahovic. But if people do not like the name Vlahovic, fine. Insert whatever striker you want. If we don't have Yildiz behind it, I think we struggled. Conceicao
Yeah,
yesterday was the perfect example of why our number 9 will struggle. Like that game, I don't know what he had yesterday, but he was like that's the most one of the most selfish performance I've seen any Juve player in a very long time put out there in a very
yeah,
long time. Like at one
yeah,
point, like even the commentator was like, "Buddy, come on! Like you have teammates out there. Just I don't know. They're there to help you. He was putting them in trouble. You know, I've not. We all play football, and we all play with a player who likes to take on players consistently. As a number 9, you have no clue where to go. Like you just have no clue where to go. And on top of that, yesterday he was extremely predictable. You know, he wanted to do everything with his left foot, like everything, a cross, a shot, everything was heavily left-footed. Something I said in the summer, and actually the last couple of weeks was switching it up, right foot, whatever, left foot, and it was unpredictable. Yesterday it was so predictable, and I was keeping an eye on Vlahovic, and he had no idea where to go. Like he had no idea, and that's an issue that stems down to as well Motta, because clearly everybody can see that, right? Like I'm not making this up. Like everybody
yeah,
can see the way Conceicao was playing. As a
yeah,
striker, you're not getting anything out of that. Like it's just not gonna happen. Like it's impossible to have something like anything good come from that. You know, if he plays like that, it's kind of a waste for him and for the team as well. But
yeah.
he
He's 21. You
he's
know.
21, but he's not gonna make that switch. In like he's not gonna wake up tomorrow and he's like, you know what? I need to pick up my hat. Like that's not gonna happen, right? Like
Yeah,
in his mind, he's like, I'm doing well, and he's been doing well this season. I'm not saying that, but it's up to Motta to say,
yeah,
hey, it's okay to pick up. Not okay. It's you must basically pick up your hat because I don't know how many times yesterday he just could have laid it off and just a simple give and go, create some space, anything, but he keeps hold like he kept hugging that ball and kept pushing it to his left foot. That I was looking at the position of Nico, I was looking at Vlahovic, I was looking at Yildiz on the far hand side, and you can rewatch if anyone has Juve TV, you can rewatch that uh, game as well. They had no like they were running and they were just coming back because it was offside. Somebody was cutting in. Like they had no idea what movements they needed to do, and that's an issue. Like that's why I've
yeah,
said people like bring Milik back. If you play like that with those wingers, that's why I said move Yildiz, to the through the middle because it becomes more unpredictable and you have somebody who's actually closer to Vlahovic, in my opinion. We become automatically more dangerous up front. That's just what I think about about that front four, whatever you want to call it.
yeah, yeah. It was one of the worst games for Conceicao for us, I would say. But before this, I feel like he was crossing, and he was looking up. I don't know what happened with him yesterday, and that's why I said he's 21. Sometimes this will happen, and the coaching staff is there to watch the video with him and maybe tell him what's up. And yeah, I think it will come good. I mean, he will come good, but let's see how it goes. But yeah. That game was definitely not his game for sure.
He kept forcing it, like he kept,
Yeah,
especially in the second half. The second half was really bad because like every time he picked up the ball, before he picked up the ball, I could have told you what was gonna happen. He was trying to cut inside so many times, and it's very easy to defend that. By the way, like if somebody wants to cut inside to his left foot, you just cover that left foot. You just run with it. It's that it's that simple because even if he cuts back inside, he's not going to do anything. He has proven that for 90 minutes basically. So it's very easy to defend, and it's horrible as a teammate up front to play with that. If you're number 9, that's a nightmare. Like that's just a nightmare scenario because you have no idea
yeah,
where you need to go. Like you just no clue. Not saying Vlahovic was good yesterday because he wasn't good, by the way, but in terms of like positioning yourself in the box to get at the end of something, no matter what striker you are, if you have a player who plays like that, it's difficult. Like it's really difficult to get anything positive out that from the box. So again, he's not gonna acknowledge that himself. That's gonna need to come from Thiago Motta, because like with the
Yeah,
speed he has and the technical ability he has, if somehow he can be convinced to just pick up his hat more often, he can do a lot more damage. Like a lot more damage. And if somehow we can pair that with some runners into the box here and there, we can do something. But this far, it's not even close to clicking into that direction. Maybe I'm looking at it like that, and Motta's not looking at it like that. But that was just a clear example of why a number 9 will struggle if you play like that. Even with Yildiz on the wing, like it's everybody knows what's gonna happen. You know, everybody kind of knows what's gonna happen. That's why I agree with you. I'm not sure why he moved Yildiz out of there. Nico Gonzalez was MVP, but like he got the goal. But to be honest, I don't think he had a very good game as well. It was just
yeah,
okay. Like it wasn't like wow. Like what Nico Gonzalez for me is like GA. Like I've said it when we signed it, like GA player, and he will get a lot of GA for us, which it's cool, and technically he's a good player. Like I'm not, saying that or something. But yesterday, I don't think he particularly had a very good game as well, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah. I agree. Yeah, just how Yield is playing and creating danger for the defense and playing close to Vlahovic. That can really help Vlahovic as well. And um, I just don't understand why would you change that. I really don't. Like Gonzalez can play anywhere up front, so I don't know. Uh,
Let's see.
yeah,
Let me read out a few chats before we move on. Alex saying, I saw Fiorentina earlier. We better beat them. There are no excuses. I'm going to lose it if we don't. Well, I've said 3-4 weeks ago we will beat Fiorentina. We'll stick with that no matter what. Both Gatti and Kalulu aren't Juve material by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, but, not many want to have that conversation. So I'm going to avoid it for this show. Do you think Giuntoli has built a foundation for a dynasty? Well, that's way too early to say, but we miss a lot of experience. I said it before the transfer season happened. Remember when there were links with Modric? That was just before the transfer window opened, and people were like, "Oh, he's too old."
yeah,
And I'm like, I get it, but we need some sort of leaders experience in that side, and that cannot be Skriniar, by the way, but like real experience and leaders. We're missing that. We're clearly missing that, So not yet. Tay is saying irrational gut feeling, but we're gonna go on a huge winning run. I hope you're right, but I recorded a video on our next 7 games. I doubt you will be right, to be honest. Yeah. Let me see. I like a player that's going at opponents that wants a dribble past people, but Conceicao is a boring version of that. Sometimes the ball needs to move fast and not stick to one player. The game was not good, sure, but everybody's struggling. Lazio, Fiorentina, Napoli built their wins on hopes and prayers. Even Inter and Atalanta are struggling recently. I wouldn't call that struggling if I'm being like, if that's struggling, then what are we doing? Like, they still play better. They're not winning 3-4-5-0 maybe, but they're winning games they deserve to win. So I won't call that struggling
yeah.
in my opinion. Hey, hi, hello. Funds by selling players. 100% we need class and true leadership. Age is not a bad thing. No, age is not a bad thing unless your legs are gone and you offer nothing. Then age is an issue. Or if you're just not good enough and you're already old, then I'm like, there's no value. Sell on value or just on the pitch as well. Okay, that's that. We talked about the game, how it went, how it didn't go. Certain key players, certain key moments in that game. Another thing I wanted to talk about was Locatelli, because post game, and I missed that, to be honest. I only saw the interview today. He said that he had some problems last season with things people said about him. Like it really got to him. I remember preseason when we were playing the next gen, and a part of the stadium, and everybody knows which part, and it's not the part everybody hopes it to be, was booing him. And I
Yeah,
think we all came on and we were like, man, what the hell? Like, why? Like, it's the next gen. Like, what was actually the point of booing him for making a bad pass in a friendly, completely pointless game that everybody know was gonna be done by 50 minutes because everybody was running on that pitch. Like, and a
yeah,
certain group of fans, and everybody knows which part of the stadium that is. This part of the stadium that is willing to boo players 5 minutes into a game. I think he's talking about that, about those things where it's like, okay, that's just completely pointless. And he was actually very emotional about that, saying that it did affect him, and maybe that's a slight worry in terms of like you shouldn't be affected. But then again,
yeah,
they're human, and if I would be playing a game against the next gen, and you go that on that pitch with the idea of just I'm just gonna have some fun, play some risky passes here and there, like it's meaningless, it's whatever, and fans start booing you, then even I will be like, man, this sucks. Like, this is actually ridiculous. And he's having a fantastic season. Period. Like, point blank. No matter where he plays, is it deep, is it higher up the pitch, is it center back, he's having a fantastic season. And
yeah,
credit goes to, well, Motta, I think. Especially because he got something out of it that was not working ever since we kind of signed him. And credit goes to him because I have a feeling he actually is becoming a leader in terms
yeah.
of performances. I don't know how he's in the locker room. I don't know if he speaks. I don't know. Nobody, there's no news about that. However, on the pitch, I actually look at it and I'm like, I have a feeling that players are looking at him and being like, okay, you are that guy. I'm looking up to you because you're playing consistently well from August until December. You're the one guy who's been extremely consistent, and
Yeah.
proving everybody wrong, including me, because I said he wasn't consistent, and I was like, be more consistent, and he is. He has been.
And we all hope for that he would be as a like on the pitch as a Mezzala or something, but maybe it's better because he's the best defensive midfielder for a long time now. For us, like his defending is crucial. And yesterday as well, he was like 90% or maybe 90 something percent pass accuracy, and his long balls. He has some long balls every game that are nice, and yeah, he's playing really well, and he doesn't have to be a regista to be to be a good midfielder or whatever. So yeah, he needs to be on the pitch, and he's really good and consistent, and that was missing from him last year and the year before. So yeah, I like him, and I feel what you're saying about leadership because he's one of the older guys and more experienced. But yeah, let's hope he continues to play like this because he's really good.
Yeah, and with leader, like I said, leadership, not just performances, just the way he
Yeah,
conducts himself as well on that pitch. It's good because at one point I think a lot of people were like, oh, we wasted a lot of money on him. But right now, like, he's playing well. Like, he's a player you can absolutely not miss
yeah,
in that team. We need him. We desperately need him. I still see people talking about, oh, he's not, contribute. Even yesterday, underneath certain posts, if you just read it, people are saying, oh, he's not contributing attacking wise. I'm like, you're just reaching because he's playing deep. Like, I don't know what
yeah,
people want at certain points from him as well, but I think the most important thing is that a large part of the fan base has come together in terms of like, okay, he's a very important player for us. But I thought it was interesting. He was very open about it. He said like it kind of got to me and it kind of affected my performances as well, which is not good. He said, it shouldn't, but it did. Like, we're only human, and it actually did affect me. He said so. let's see how that will develop. But he's been playing well, no matter the position, he's been playing fantastic. So I think that's a
Yep.
very positive aspect, for Thiago Motta. Not many, especially in that midfield. There's not a lot of consistency in that midfield. Quote minus player, he's out injured. I know the official news is, or the official news is that there's no injury, he stopped in time. Yeah, I mean, we know what that means. He stopped in time.
We will see about that.
We will
Yeah.
see about that. I saw prominent Italian accounts, trying to play that down, saying that we people are the issues, suggesting we're making jokes that he's gonna miss time. It's not a joke; it's reality. And if some people, are still willing to protect the club in terms of like something is not wrong with the medical department, then be crazy, whatever. But everybody has eyes. Something is up. It's not good. The amount of injuries we have, and like that's not even the worst part. The worst part is the recovery time. It's way too long if you compare it with the same injuries to other teams. It's way too long. And don't give me that everybody is different. Like every person's body is different. Fine, one, but not every single player that gets injured. Like that's not every player has a, like that's just an us problem. Like you can spin it how much you want. Like Douglas Luiz, for example, no injury. We just a planned schedule to take off the workload. He's gone for another 2 weeks. There's no planned schedule. He's injured again. Like call it whatever you want. He's injured again, and he had no injuries at Aston Villa. Basically, I'm saying no injuries, because compared to this, he had no injuries. I don't want to hear Giuntoli saying, "Oh, he didn't come in fit for the Copa America when he came back, or whatever." Or he didn't win. I don't know. He went to the Copa America. He did, or whatever it's called. He didn't come back in full fitness. I'm like, fine, but like, he's missing weeks. Like, and the summer was 4 months ago. So something is up. Something is really up, and it's hindering whatever Motta's trying to do. It's 1 week, he's back, then he's injured. Then he comes back, then he's out of the squad. Like, it's an ongoing situation that is just, at one point, it
And
feels pointless.
and he's not injury prone. Like he averaged 40 games a season at Aston Villa. That's insane.
Yeah.
So, and the past couple of years, our injury record is like it's one of the worst in Europe. Like there's a reason for that. It's not the players.
And actually, at Villa, like in England, the intensity is much higher, and he didn't get injured. Like that's
Yeah.
just crazy to me. But it's our reality. Now you're going into the Fiorentina game with Locatelli and Thuram, because he doesn't trust Fagioli. Like he brings an Atsic.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. At least we're gonna be safe in the back, I guess. I don't know, but probably too safe. I'm hoping that the Koopmanes is back. We can only do is hope, but yeah, our injury record is definitely not good, especially this year. I feel like these muscle injuries are crazy.
oh, it's insane. I don't know if people are putting in chats because it's not loading for me. So I'm sorry. Let me let me uh, let me try to refresh it. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It's all coming in now. Let me read it out really quickly. I will get 100% emotional. That's going back to Locatelli. How can we find our version of the Ketelare? He has really come into his own. Have to give credit to Atalanta. They're great at it, finding diamonds in the rough. Lookman and the Ketelare. Well, the Ketelare is not a diamond in the rough. I don't know how long you've been on this channel. I said it before he went to Milan. I said maybe it's his season too early, and it was before he joined to Milan. But he's not a diamond in the rough. Like he was one of the best players in the Belgian league, if not the best player. So it's not that they discovered something nobody knew about. They just believed in it and they developed players very well. That's their credit. That you need to give them credit for.
Yeah.
Wouldn't write off any signings yet. Most frustrating is Luiz, obviously, but do we really want to blame him? I mean, he's injured, so I don't know. Like performance-wise, he made some boneheaded mistakes, but injuries, I don't know who to blame for it. I don't think he's going out of his way to get injured. I don't know.
Yeah.
He just does what he's been told to do. Like that's it. So um, let's see. Alex saying yes, I do blame him. Muscle injuries are partly the player's fault. Um, I don't know about that, to be honest.
I don't agree because if he didn't have muscle injury
Yeah,
issues
that's
at
my thing.
Aston Villa with that workload, then he should not have muscle injuries here. And the
Not to
only
this
change, well,
extent.
obviously, yeah, is the trainings. He's not doing anything special training or whatever that he gets injured. So
Yeah, because you know what is people think players go home and they start, running the marathon. Like
yeah,
most of these players go home and they just watch TV. It's probably only Cristiano Ronaldo who goes home and just goes running again. But most of them just go home and chill. Like that's it. They're not
yeah,
going out of his way, out of their way to do extra training, extra running. They might do that because they get exercises from the club they need to do, and they have
and
that. But they don't do anything
and
insane.
he's a professional. Like he might not look like one or the most disciplined, but we never hear about him that he's partying or whatever. Never hear about anything about like only Alicia, obviously, but I think he's following what the club is telling him. So
Yeah, I agree. I don't like he just like I'm sorry. Like I don't think he's going away from training. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna do extra work every single day. I refuse to believe any player is really doing that. Maybe a handful of players, but I'm gonna say 90% of the players just go home and they go chill. They're
yeah,
just chilling. They're not doing anything probably useful. Basically, they just play games, watch movies, go out. They're normal people. They're not gonna go 2-3 hours of training in the morning and then at the evening they're like, you know what, I'm gonna go out for a run again. I, most of them do not do that. So like you said, at Villa it was okay, and now it's an issue. So I'm gonna assume it's us because it's us for a lot of players. It's not just a one-off. If it's a one-off, I would maybe agree
yeah,
with you and I'd be like, weird, but it's not a one-off. It's not a one-off. Nico Gonzalez was been out for I don't know months for the most basic things out there,
yeah.
like just basic. It happens, and he missed like a third of the season almost. Like that's insane. That's just insane. But
He missed what 10 games, right?
yeah, like almost a third of the season. Like like just
Yeah,
insane, insane. But let's see. Let's see what will happen with Douglas Luiz. Like he's not gonna play against Fiorentina, obviously. But I don't know. Maybe he's back. For the Super Copa, which I absolutely do not care about. For the last couple of seasons, we have had thousands of muscle injuries. It's definitely mostly the club's fault. I like something is up. Something is really up. Because at one point even Rabiot was picking up injuries. Like
yeah,
Rabiot, he was picking up muscle injuries and not staying fit.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, like something is up. Something really is up at this club. Um, okay, I think we kind of discussed everything I wanted to discuss about yesterday. Like no team fears us right now. I think everybody echoed that, especially. I think it was Sky Italia I was watching on. It was Sky Italia I had on yesterday. Um, they were saying the same thing, like that no team. Del Piero said it. Pre-Man City, I think it was, saying that no team really. No, it was Venezia. So no team really fears Juve right now. There's no fear factor because the way they approach games and the way they kind of play themselves out of the game. But we have Fiorentina on Sunday, right? The 29th, 6 o'clock.
I think so.
I think it's Sunday. We play Fiorentina. It's a must win because we need to end the season on a high to start off the season and the year on a high to start the new year away to Torino on a high because like we have Atalanta next. We have Atalanta. I think no. Yeah, we have Atalanta. We have Torino in the new year. Atalanta, Milan, Bruges,
Napoli.
Napoli,
Yeah,
Benfica. Like it's it's
yeah,
it's crazy. Like it's actually crazy. Tough game. So you need to end it well and you need to start it well. I do not care about the Supercoppa, the third against Milan. I hope he plays players like Atsic and Imbangula and Rui. I do not care about that at all. But Fiorentina, they lost today against Udinese. Not a
Yeah.
shock because Udinese are a decent team and Fiorentina are just overperforming. It's not gonna last. It's impossible because the squad they have it doesn't suggest it's gonna last. But they lost and we just about won. How are you heading into that game? Are you positive about the result, the potential result?
Yeah, yeah. Let's be positive. Um, they were on a good streak and finally they lost. Hopefully it will it will start their bad form and we are on the we are coming up basically. So I think we should be positive ones and not just realist. I think we're gonna control the game and we're gonna win like 2-1 or something or 2-0. Um, yeah, and Douglas Luiz and all of those players are gonna play, and it's going to be a happy day.
Oh, I don't think Douglas Luiz will be there.
Not as a starter, but like some
You think
minutes.
he's gonna be with the squad? With the squad,
Yes, yeah, I think so.
I'll be stunned. Somebody just put out the standings on Twitter. It just popped up, and we're 9 points off. But I'm just thinking about the results against like Cagliari. I'm like, oh my god, Venezia. Like
Yeah,
how? Like if you just won, if you just had three less draws, you would be 3 points off the top of the league, and the
yeah,
mindset will be completely different by the fans. I think we would all acknowledge it's still not fantastic, but it would have a different feeling because right now, if that happened, you were only 3 points off the top and you drew another game,
yeah,
everybody was like, whatever. It can happen. But if you now draw another game, it's like, yeah, it's alright. It's like it's too much,
yeah.
We
We are
dropped
fighting for the
points.
Champions League. Unfortunately, we are fighting for the Champions League. Like we are 3 points off, and if Fiorentina cannot beat us because if they beat us, it's 6 points from them.
And they have a game in hand. It's against Inter, the game in
Yeah,
hand.
yeah. So
Uh,
it's crazy. We
but
can. We're
we
fighting for
deserve
the
where we
Champions
are,
League.
by the way.
Unfortunately.
Like I'm just saying that,
Yeah,
it shouldn't be, but we deserve where we are. The results we have, it's by our own doing. And actually, we got away against Bologna and against Venezia. You also need to include
yeah,
that. But let's see. Hopefully, something kind of clicks. And the bad part is like if it clicks, it's dumb until Torino. The Super Coppa, it's a different vibe. So I don't know. Let's see. It's a big month. It's make or break. Make in terms of we can actually make something out of this season, or break of even top four is going to be tough. But only time will tell. We're gonna wrap this one up, people. I won't be live tomorrow. Obviously, it's Christmas Eve. I won't be live Wednesday. It's Christmas Day. I will probably be live on Thursday. Back again to talk about whatever it's gonna happen. Hopefully, more transfer news because I have a feeling and a very bad feeling that Giuntoli is gonna do dealings very late when it's way too late. At the end of January, everybody's seen the 7 games in January. If he comes with players at the end of January, I'm just gonna hate watch on him. I'm just gonna actually lose it. If he brings in player the last week of January and we would have dropped so many points because of the games we played and because of injuries we had, I'm gonna lose it with Giuntoli because he had all the time to prep this and he needs to get them up ASAP. But right now, the feeling is he's not gonna do it ASAP. He made it clear yesterday post game saying, let's see what opportunities arise. I'm like, we're not in that situation. Things should have been
yeah.
locked up, but let's see how that will go. People, thanks for watching. Like the video. Merry Christmas to everybody who's gonna celebrate that. And I'll be back Thursday, and we will be back Monday. Next Monday, we will be back probably to discuss the Fiorentina game. All right, thanks for joining, people. Thanks for watching, and speak to you guys soon. Ciao.